here, if not in a more secret location. So
It'd probably be better.
So anyway, so rest assured there could be people out here who either make assumptions about people based on what you look like, or they're actually staged. So and they are set up to watch people say go to Starbucks, or they want to see if you'll walk on one side of the street and not the other. And technically, like, most people wouldn't be certain if that was going on. Today, I can't really see the same things that I used to see, but it's done in a different way. But anyway, it's possible people thought I'd be walking on the north side of Arch Street past Starbucks. Instead, I'm on the south side of Arch Street passing the Four Seasons Hotel. So why is the Four Seasons Hotel, where sports personalities, celebrities stay, kind of on the flip side, or butting up to Comcast Center 2, which is, Comcast Technologies. NBC is housed in there. I worry about saying this because there could be a modern form of slavery, and it would be people stuck. Schindler's List looks like an oven dial. In, say, professional sports. Or musicians in rock bands. Their worlds would be so controlled and, dare I say, puppeted. I don't love using that word because some people are conscious that they're puppeted, and maybe it's for protection. And some people know things keep working out, and they're like, I can't believe I'm actually a millionaire, even though I grew up in an orchestrated community like Dallas, Texas, or Houston, or whatever. Like Lizzie, the musician, she grew up in a very specific way that many of us don't know or understand. This is not to minimize her, but she could be told what to do. And would cancel, say, plans for the 4th of July, Welcome America show in Philadelphia, which she did like last year or the year before, citing, all kinds of problems with feeling in control or whatever, or other people trying to control. So anyway, the point being, there might be some people in professional sports who are completely controlled. They get paid, but they know something's off, so they have to live their whole lives. In a way, it's a form of slavery aside from the money. But in a way, they have to live knowing that people could jerk their head around any second. And it's like, I know whoever, I know they're here, So I don't know, there's really no solution other than as people age, the handlers in society sort of move on, or they themselves pass away, or they fade out, or what have you. They only do football, so when someone retires as a football player, then they're no longer needed, per se, That's what I understand from some people's philosophy. I had something really incredibly bad happen. It's hard to prove, They go after people's brains if they can't get you in any other way. All that takes is like having to work amongst a bunch of bullies, and you're like, this is weird because they're really not doing their job. I'm actually the only person who's here like doing the job, and they're all playing games and trying to rile people up. So what's going on, So that can happen. It's very easy to do that, particularly at mid-size or smaller organizations or businesses. Be surprised how many people are actually handled. And they could be handled to sort of be a real pain in your life if you're targeted. So that's that. Anyway, Apple Tree Mews. I stayed here, not on this side. There's like a driveway in between. So like they have these townhomes that face each other or back up to each other, but there's a driveway with cars parked under each unit. And I stayed in 2030 Apple Tree Street. Is it 2030 or 2060? Actually, it's 2060, I think. Should I look? Anyway, But point being, when I sort of had to leave my apartment, it would be that one. There's an orange cone in the garage of the unit of the townhome where I stayed for about 8 months during 2018. It was really like Valentine's Day through the end of September. So that's, you know, about 7-8 months. So anyway, Entenmann's truck. So I'll just walk on down here. I'm headed west on Arch Street towards the Giant supermarket. I needed to get some exercise before the white orbit gum is in that has, I'll tell you the story about white orbit gum really quick. You can't see it, but in that planter over there, there's like a large Ziploc bag of white orbit gum. This comes up because this is a perfect example of a form of harassment and or gang stalking and spying. I used to seek very cheap sliding scale nonprofit therapy at a women's therapy center that I only had to pay like $30 for, but they were pretty, it was enough to keep me going during the worst of it. So anyway, I was talking to my therapist and we were talking about like, how do you know who to trust, blah, 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 who to keep in your sphere as friends, because people will disappoint you, they could be a problem and so forth, or they could be actually part of a gang stalking world, or part of controlling families that desperately need to show who's in charge, that kind of thing. Anyway, so you're going through this thing of like, I'm not really, you know, and and it seems simple, but the therapist might say that you want certain people in your orbit and certain people not in your orbit, or you're in another orbit. Say you get training in a certain field, or you get a certain type of education. You are officially in another orbit. So anyway, I go home, you know, have dinner, go to bed, wake up the next day. I was in a first floor apartment of a row home converted to apartments. So there were 4 units total. Or wait, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 4 units total. So there's 3 other units, you know, one or 2 of them having 2 residents. So anyway, there's a potential of say 6 people who could have done this. But I opened my door to the hallway before you would go out to, it's a little, you know, it's like a house kind of, but I opened my door and positioned perfectly in front of my door. So positioned perfectly in front of my door was a little box of white orbit gum. And it was so like no one dropped it there. The only person who would be in that stretch of hallway where I was would be, well, either the people who lived behind me, which at the time was only 1 person, or should people go downstairs to do their laundry, they could have passed by my door. But I was told to show up here today, so anyway, I normally would not do this, you know, before my day gets started, but I was told to come here, so here I am. No one's in the chairs yet today, but a lot of people will sit out here. Oh, there's a gym here, or physical therapy or similar. I don't know that, unless it belongs to the building. So anyway,